Okay, good morning, Pine Village North. I wanted to show everybody something. This is the Texas Property Code, and it is section 209.0051, and it deals with open board meetings. And I'm going to scroll down. Now, mind you, I'm not an attorney. I'm not. And clarification for a lot of these property codes really, has to be done with an attorney. Because even though I read them, I don't understand them, and I do have to get clarification. But so, as a property owner in Pine Village North and dealing with a rogue board and just having to go through the situation of feeling lost and frustrated with trying to find justice for homeowners outside of a civil suit is really heart-wrenching when you have, a community that's, low income or middle income community, the ongoing court costs of fighting the HOA that is using your funds and other homeowners' funds to fight you and pretty much telling you if you stop fighting, trying to turn homeowners against homeowners by saying, well, if they stop suing us, then we will have money when they're suing because of injustice. People in this community are not suing and not fighting the HOA because we want to hang a flag outside and we're not allowed to, or we want to put a cross outside, or and or some type of religious emblem and we're not allowed to, or we want to paint our door red and it's supposed to be black, or we want to build a fence and we built it 2 inches above regulations. They are truly fighting for a healthy, clean quality of living. And it's easy to say, oh, if you don't like it, move. But that doesn't solve the issue at hand. Now, with this particular Texas Property Code, it states the board may not, unless done in an open meeting for which prior notice was given to owners under subsection E, consider or vote on, and I'm gonna, go in there so y'all can see, and y'all can always look up the property code and scroll down there. But the main thing I want to point out is initiation of foreclosure actions. So when properties are foreclosed on, this should be discussed in a meeting. One of the main reasons I'm bringing this up is because we had a resident last July or June that was foreclosed on. Elderly woman in her 70s, lived here 41 years. 41 years. And she was fighting the HOA. She was going back and forth to court. And she missed the court date. And so, of course, by default, she lost. She's an elderly woman. And she's on a fixed income. She doesn't have the money or the health for the endless court dates, but because of that, she has to suffer. Well, she's been here 41 years, so when she moved in, she didn't move into a damaged community. She didn't move into a community that had all these problems and issues. And apparently, if she had lived here that long, she was paying HOA dues. It's just that the fraud and the corruption that has been allowed for the past, 15, 20 years is what has caused this problem. But at one point, even when some of the previous board members or management companies were, you know, misappropriating funds, or they were they did have certain things. The pool was still accessible, the clubhouse was open, there were, the gates worked. So it got to the point over years where they were just taking the money and doing nothing as far as the improvement of the community. Also, down here, the election of an officer. I showed you the meeting minutes in one of the video where they were electing each other and there was no homeowners in the meeting. Like, they were electing each other's as officers, filling the vacancy of a board, the sale or purchase of real property, the approval of an annual budget or the approval or amendment of an annual budget. We don't have annual meetings to see an annual budget. And these are the things that should not have to be fought in a civil court to regulate when it comes to an HOA. These are things that should be able to be reported to a certain agency, and then that agency can come in and, fine the HOA, or put some levies on the HOA in order to fix these things and rectify them immediately. And that is where the frustration comes in, because everything has to be a lawsuit. Everything has to be civil. But an HOA is still a nonprofit corporation. A nonprofit corporation has certain laws to abide by. And that HOA should, and there are agencies that regulate that. And you should be able to, reinforce those laws and regulations when it comes to an HOA, instead of having so many homeowners put in this kind of situation. Now, this community has good bones. At one point in time, it was a sought after community, and it can be again. The money is there. It's not like the money is not there. They are paying HOA fees, and there are a lot of investors that have come in here, but the quality of the homeowners and the quality of the renters deal with what the board has allowed. The neglect over the years of them not maintaining the property, of them not maintaining the amenities, of them not maintaining anything. When you start approving a community, and you see it all the time, you see the worst of neighborhoods where they come in, start, you know, fixing up the community, fixing up the homes, and and people just, can't afford to be there anymore, so they'll leave, they'll move, and then all of a sudden the community has changed for the best. And it has good bones. It's in a great location, and there's so many things that still can be done in here to bring some life back, to bring some community joy. But I just wanted to show you this property code that Northeast Pine Village North, definitely does not abide by. They don't properly notify homeowners of meetings at all, which they do on purpose. And that really, I'm going to be honest, when Randall Management came in here and became the management company, it really started getting bad. And then now that Real Manage is here, but Randall Management had an on-site person. So at least you had somebody to talk to and communicate with. And she wasn't the best, and she was deceitful, but she was doing pretty much what she was instructed to do, I would hope. But that's neither here nor there. We really are trying to get this community back on track, and we keep hitting walls, and I know there has to be a better way, because like I said, this community needs structure. It needs the HOA to step up in order to get everything back on track. We can't do it with the current board members, because they have proven time and time again that they are just not reliable. They have been on the board, for over 10 years, and in that time frame, they have not shown any type of profit. This community has gotten worse and worse, and at this point, we are an illegal dumping site. People just dump trash in here, and anytime you complain to the board, their response is, well, if the homeowners, if the residents, and like I said, none of them live in here, so they really don't care. But Tony Briscoe, the president, current president, used to live in here. And then after being on the board for a year, he doesn't live in here anymore. I'm gonna leave the rest of that alone, but I'm just, you can make your own conclusions. But with all the fraudulent activities going on. But like I said, just pray for us. We're working hard. We're gonna work together, and we're gonna try to get this done. We are gonna get this done, and we are going to get this community turned around.